And what is up, everybody? I'm Joe DeHoyos. I am the host of Beyond the Woodline, and tonight I think I got a pretty cool show with the guys from Pee Dee Region Paranormal, Brian, and I forgot your name already.
Robert.
Robert. I was gonna say Roger, but I said I don't think that's right. Yeah, Brian and Robert, how you guys doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
We're
We
doing
doing all
good.
right, man.
That's good. Yeah, man, we had a little chance to talk right before we came on the air, man, and you guys are it's like a pretty cool, a couple of cool guys, man. The kind of guys you'd want to hang out with and have a beer and have some good food with.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, we talked about that about you said if you go out, you're gonna have some good food, man. What's good food to you guys?
Steak and barbecue.
Yeah, we kind of a meat and taters group.
Meat and tater soup. I like that. That's pretty good. Yeah. Dr. William Lester, how you doing, Doc? Thank you for joining. So, just real quick, man, why don't you give us a quick introduction on yourselves and each individual, and tell us what got you into this whole field of paranormal.
I'm Brian Horton. I've been in the paranormal for about 20 something years. What got me started is a young age. I was always in school thinking about weird stuff, and I'd go to the library and rent books on the paranormal and read stuff on ghosts. And then when I was probably about 13, after my grandfather died, I was sitting down at my grandmother's and looked up at this chair, and her chihuahua was staring at the chair, and I looked up and he was staring at me. And that's what kind of got me wanting to start looking for him.
And my name is Robert Humphreys. I've been in the paranormal investigation business the same amount of time he has, pretty much. We growed up together, and we both just got interested in it at a very young age. My grandmother had a home that a lot of strange things would happen, and I could never explain it. It made me want to learn what it is, and so I started digging into it. And, me and him started as kids with nothing but a flip phone that had a camera on it and a flashlight, and that's where it began.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's where a lot of it begins. That's when, like I told you guys, in the house that I used to live in, we had a lot of paranormal activity, and all I had was my iPhone, and that's what I used. And it was pretty cool. And we actually had as you guys know, I still do the Bigfoot research thing, and I had told my son, I said, hey, go get the recorder. We'll try an EVP session. Not that I had ever done one, and I just seen it on TV. And he goes into the room where my daughter saw this black mass move from one corner to the other, and he came out, man. He's white as a ghost, and he's like, Dad, you got to hear this. And he plays the recorder for me, and he's like, you can hear him ask, is anybody here with us? And you hear a voice go, yeah. That was like the only time we had ever caught anything on EVP. The rest, I think that's the only time we ever did a session, or you want to call it a session. But yeah, that was pretty cool, man. Some pretty good validation for us. I used to love that.
EVPs are awesome because you could pretty much catch them anywhere, man.
Right.
Anywhere. Mm-hmm.
So, what did you guys actually start investigating?
I want to say it was around 1996.
Somewhere in there.
95, 96. There's a place locally here. It's a graveyard. And, ever since we were kids, we heard stories and rumors in this graveyard about everything that's happening. People seeing a lady in white. And I mean, just all kind of stories. So when we finally got our driver's license, we decided, hey, it's time to go check it out. And we did. And we actually had stuff that happened that night. So that started it for us.
Yeah, when I was in the Navy, I go places by myself looking for stuff, go on tours, and go to the Whaley House, Queen Mary, and all that, and just see what I can find.
Mm-hmm. And when did you form the Pee Dee Region Paranormal?
What, 2017?
Well, to start out with, I had a group in South Carolina. It was called Total Paranormal Investigations. He had a group here in North Carolina that was Ghost Commander Paranormal. And my group was hit and miss. We'd get an investigation and half the people couldn't be there, and it wound up being me and another guy alone. And his group was the same way. And then me and him got to talking. We just merged our groups in together about 2017. Mm-hmm. And just formed Pee Dee Region Paranormal Group. And man, it's been wide open ever since.
What does PD stand for?
The area that we live in North Carolina and South Carolina is called the Pee Dee Region.
Okay.
And basically it covers the Pee Dee River. It follows the Pee Dee River around. And they just call that the Pee Dee region. So we just took over North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of Virginia, parts of Tennessee, parts of Georgia. Whatever's in the Pee Dee region is what we claim. But we go everywhere, man. We ain't been long. Went to Madison Seminary up in Ohio, St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. We pretty much go wherever, but we adopted the name because of the area that we're in.
Okay. Now, how many team members you guys have?
I think there's 8 altogether.
Yeah, 8.
You got me and him as the founders of the group. Then we have the senior investigator, which is Mr. Rick Horton. We call him Pops, which is his father. And then we got lead investigator Andrew McInville, which is one of my cousins. Another lead investigator, Jeff Tank Collins. Then Scott Domestic and Andy Balcom, which is our newest member, but he's doing an excellent job in the tech department. He is highly knowledgeable when it comes to tech. And then our historian / I guess you'd call case manager,
Katie,
which is Katie Goodson.
Okay, good. And you mentioned your dad and your cousin. What does the rest of the family think about what you guys do?
they like what we do, so they give us something to do together, and they support us.
Yeah, they support us. At first, my parents was against it. They thought, oh, you crazy. Yeah. But as I started proving what we catch, it's one thing to come at me with a story and say this happened. But when you come with me with evidence or footage or film and say, look, this is what happened and here's the proof, that makes all the difference in the world.
Okay. What do you think some of your best evidence?
I'd have to probably say some of it at St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. We got some pictures of a female face looking around the door, staring at us, solid black eyes.
My dad got a picture of, they call it the creeper crawling on the walls. He actually caught that on camera. So I got a picture of that.
What is that?
It's some kind of spirit up there. They say it crawls on the walls, the floors, and everything.
Everybody's always called him the creeper when he's been caught, but nobody knows actually who it is or anything about him, other than it's just a shadowy figure, and it's in the shape of a person crawling on the ceiling.
Yeah, that'll be freaky to see, I think.
Oh, it was, especially in person.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been scared, like legit scared?
Startled, but not really scared. But doing it so long, really don't scare us too much.
Right.
But I can't say I've been scared, but I have been startled. I mean, whenever me and him was in St. Albans and I was walking behind him, and all of a sudden I see his feet come off the ground, but he's still in the same spot. That kind of startled me a little bit because something had lifted him off the ground like that and then slung him against the wall. So that was startling. I'm not going to say I was scared because I'm trying my best to get it on camera.
Yeah.
But, deep inside, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah. What was it like for you, Brian?
It didn't bother me. I knew it was about to happen because that spirit, they call him Donald, he don't like me anyway. So I kind of figured when I walked past his door, he's about to get a hold of me. That's what happened.
How did he grab you? Could you feel him physically grab you?
I just felt like something was around my neck. Just picked me up. And there I went against the wall.
Oh.
And after he got up, I cut the flashlight on, put the camera on the back of his neck, and you could actually see fingertip prints on his neck where it squeezed so hard.
Yeah. And that's some strength right there to lift a grown man off the ground.
Oh yeah.
You see that in movies. It's hard to do it in real life.
And see, that's one of those pieces of evidences that actually changed us a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
It made you realize that, okay, this is for real.
Right.
You gotta be grounded when you go into places like that.
Yeah. How long ago was this?
2 years, 3 years
ago.
Oh, okay. So what do you guys do now? Do you guys do anything for protection before you go in?
Well, we try to pretty much, keep ourselves grounded, number one, and keep our relationship with God very good.
Okay.
We do try to say a group prayer as we go in, just a blessing.
Mhm. So, what do you think about the spirits or entities that are here? Are they from the other side or another dimension, or
You have some spirits that are from here, and you have some that was never human form.
okay?
So
It's a mixture. You get to talking about stuff like that. A lot of people can go into a really big detail of what they think versus what is, and nobody really knows what is.
Yeah,
That's why we do what we do.
yeah,
But there is another realm, I believe.
uh,
There's another dimension. So I mean, you could get into the religious aspect of it, and we could sit here and talk all night and argue it out. But people believe what they believe, and we just basically believe there is another realm or dimension.
and a lot of people, they'll be quick to jump and say, "Okay, that's a demon," but you got to realize that somebody was a butthole in life, they're gonna be a butthole when they're dead.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
Everybody jumps to the demon word, and that's not the case 99.9% of the times.
yeah. So, why is it that you guys do what you do? What are you guys end game in this field?
just doing what we love and helping out clients,
Trying to help people. That's exactly right.
and prove there is the other side.
If a client comes to us and they call us in for help, and they having these strange feelings that's got them scared to even go into their own home.
Mhm.
If we can go in there and even debunk what's going on, and
Right.
it's not spirit, it's wiring in your house, and you got a high electromagnetic field, it's causing you to hallucinate, or whatever the case may be. Our main goal is not really actually hunting for ghosts; it is to help that client.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I like that and I understand that. I've had people call me out on who's who have Bigfoot on their property or think they have Bigfoot on their property, and go out there and sometimes it's not a Bigfoot. It's hogs. I had an old lady call me out one day and she told me she had Bigfoot rubbing up against her house, but in reality there were a bunch of hogs out there. And she felt better. Know that there were hogs. I mean, hogs are scary enough if you ask me. But
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're nothing to play with. We see plenty of them out here in Texas. I don't know if you guys have a lot of them out there in your area, but
We do.
yeah, there's so damn many of them. You got to be careful when you're out there.
And see, right now we're getting carried out by coyotes over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Um, so what are some of your favorite spots that you guys have investigated?
One of our favorites is usually St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. Then we got one we do in Darlington that we always get evidence there every time we go.
Yeah. The one in Darlington, they don't want us to disclose the name. I was telling you about that earlier, but every time we go in there, man, we have a ball.
Yeah. What's special about that place?
I would say mostly residual, but there is some intelligent there.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we go in there, it seems like the more I ain't gonna say the more they get used to us, but the more energy they have, the more they respond to us. And
okay.
I mean, we've got some really good evidence in there.
Right.
We went in there one day for an example. There was a stack about this high of Post-it notes, and they were laying on top of the box. Well, we were in there and we were asking questions and shooting SLS and thermal and all that stuff. And we decided, let's take us a break. Let's go downstairs, get us a smoke, something to drink, use the restroom. We'll come back up. Everybody went down. We come back up. When we got up to the top, every one of them Post-it notes were individually pulled apart and threw all over that room, all over the floor. And we know for a fact nobody was in the building.
Right. That's pretty cool. Yeah. What are some of your favorite tools to use when you guys go out?
I like using everything, but here recently I've just gone straight to carrying just a straight recorder all the time. That's about what I carry right now.
We built a portal. We built EM pumps, K2 meters, EMF meters, digital cameras, digital recorders, the Ovilus. I mean, we have a lot of equipment, but to be honest with you, here lately we went back to the old school ways.
Mm-hmm.
A recorder. That way there's no interference, no radio scanning AM, FM all the time. Just a recorder. And of course, our video cameras. We do a lot of, I guess you'd say solos. We got into solos a lot. Set up a camera, one person go in there alone and ask questions and see what they catch. And sometimes you got to go back to old school where you just get a couple bells and tie a rope to it and hang it on a doorknob.
Yeah. What I always when I go out Bigfooting, I use those those Kim lights that kind of you break and you shake up and glow.
Yeah.
I always tell the guys in the paranormal teams, you ought to try that. Hang them somewhere and see what happens. See if they mess with them. Because
we've actually used one at St. Albans before. We broke it, threw it down the hallway, and probably about 10 minutes later, come rolling back down the hallway. Cool.
Yeah. Someone asked, y'all offer up a pen. I've heard that sometimes they'll attempt to write messages.
Yeah. Well, have you ever heard of the paranormal puck?
No.
The paranormal puck is basically the same concept. It's who made that? Bill Chappell?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Bill Chappell created it, but it's a little puck that you put down like in an area you're investigating, and you'll have a tablet, and then they can actually write into that tablet, and it'll come through the puck to where you could actually hear it. It's pretty much the same concept.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that. Yeah. When I did my first investigation in Mineral Wells, Texas, I had a friend. He had built his own little, I don't know what you call it, spirit box or portal, where you talk and they respond or whatever.
Right.
He had built one without all the white noise, and he would show me all the little bells and whistles to it. And he says, well, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to do a session. And I said, well, can I go up there with you? And a voice came through, come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we have one of those that we created also, and we've got really good responses out of it.
Yeah.
But when you're using those devices, you got to pay attention because it scans AM and FM frequencies.
Right.
And most of the time, most builders like us, we make them scan backwards instead of scanning the spectrum forward.
Okay.
So if you're listening to it and you got something that comes in and it says 103X, that's a radio station. Ignore it. It's nothing. But if you holding this cup right here and you say, okay, can you tell me what's in this cup? And it comes back and it says water. I mean, that's pretty undeniable.
Right. Yeah. Is that what you got in there, water?
Yeah.
Today it is.
Yeah, for today that's water. It's a little late over here.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about earlier too about, having fun when you guys go out. And, I think that's the best way to do it, man. Just go out and have some fun. And you're out there with good people.
That's right.
And in the end, that's all that really matters, man. Who you have around you and stuff like that. I think
we consider ourselves as a family, not a team.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We are. We're family. I mean, even when we're not investigating, we get together, cookouts, dinners, go fishing, hunting, whatever. You know what I mean? We spend time together, even if it's not paranormal.
Right. Yeah. You talk about fishing and hunting. Spending a lot of times in the woods that I do, and doing a lot of the Bigfoot research. I think there's a lot of paranormal stuff that happens out in the woods that people confuse with Bigfoot, or will say that this is a Bigfoot, whether it's hearing voices or having stuff thrown at you, hearing the footsteps. I think there's a lot more paranormal stuff that happens in the woods than what people think. But being a Bigfoot researcher or out there looking for Bigfoot, that's what they're going to go to right away. And I've probably been guilty of that too, because I've heard the footsteps, I've had stuff thrown at me, I've heard voices, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of the Bigfoot stuff, but people claim to hear what's called samurai chatter when they talk and stuff like that.
Right.
And I've heard voices out there, and I'm like, and at first I used to always, oh man, that's got to be a Bigfoot, right? But now I'm like, man, I bet anything that was some of that stuff I heard was paranormal,
Yeah.
And like I said, it could be residual stuff out there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what happened on that land back in the day. That could have been Native American land. It could have. I mean, you don't know. You don't know what happened there.
Yeah, somebody fighting over land. You're on my land, or get off my land. Yeah, exactly. And so I think there's a lot of paranormal stuff that goes on out there, and I wish sometimes that I was into it a little bit more. That way I could go out there and do some paranormal research, and that's what I've got some friends in the paranormal field. And I tell them, hey, when I'm going out there bigfooting, I want you to come out there with me. You can do your thing, and I'll do my thing, and
That's right.
you know,
Compare each other together and see what you got.
yeah, yeah. Do you guys ever get a chance to go out and investigate, like out in the open, out in the wild? I guess you could say.
We do kind of like tombs, graveyards, battlefields, stuff
Okay,
like that.
okay. You guys ever get any good activity out there?
Colonel Cobb tomb.
Colonel Cobb's tomb is yeah, we got quite a bit there.
Mhm.
We were out there one night. We had just built this new portal box, and me and him decided to go out there alone and test it out. And we had the box running, and he asked a question. He asked Colonel Cobb, "Who did you serve up under?" And clear as day, we have it on recorder. Actually, it came through that box, and it said
General Washington.
General Washington.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
I actually
wow.
asked it 3 separate times and got the same response.
we got the
every
same
time.
response 3 times on footage. We have it. That was just amazing because back then, Washington was the general.
You're right. Man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Stuff like that. It's like you can't. I mean, what else could it be? I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. What else could it be? It has to be the real deal. To come out with that answer 3 times.
And see, me and him is hard on evidence. I ain't gonna
Right.
lie to you. You heard people talk of orbs and stuff like that, and 90% of them we throw them out. We don't even look at them because it could be a bug. It could be anything.
Moisture
Right.
in the air.
Moisture, dust. I mean, there's just so many things it could be. So we're really hard on the evidence that we choose and say, okay, this is paranormal. And I think that's what's got us to where we're at today.
Yeah. Someone's asking, was that an app or a box itself?
No, that was actually a portal box that we built ourselves.
Okay.
There's no app in it whatsoever.
Yeah. In that house I used to live in, we had so much activity in that house, and when the activity got really, really ramped up, and we were scared, but we weren't like terrified. I think it's because it was so new to us, right? And everything was, like I said, everything was really, really getting amped up. And I got my phone out, like I said, and I started videoing. Man, there were so many orbs, and I know people are hard on the orbs, but man, it had to be orbs. I mean, there were hundreds of these orbs. I'm not lying, hundreds. I mean, just everywhere. And I'm like, man, we had a clean house. We kept up with the damn place. And
Yeah.
and I even put the camera towards the AC vent to show that the AC was off. And then I went to my daughter's room where she saw the black shadow move, and there were orbs in there too. Those are the only 2 rooms that had all those orbs.
Right.
It was one of the craziest things I had ever seen, and we had never caught it ever since then. When we went back.
And see, if we was to get something like that was undeniable,
Right.
we wouldn't just throw it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you walking down the hallway and you got one little ball of light just go through the screen like that and it disappears and you never see it again,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you that was an orb or a bug. Even if I blow it up and I examine it, there's no way to tell you.
Yeah.
Especially with the IR lighting and the night vision that we run.
It's like the one that I caught Wednesday night. I thought it was just a bug at first, but going back reviewing it, I had the camera in the stairwell. I said, "Is that you trying to manifest come down the stairs?" As soon as I said, manifest, you seen a ball of light pop up, come down the stairs right past me and disappear.
And we got it on film. Actually, stay tuned to our website coming up here pretty soon, PDRegionParanormal.com or PDRegion.com. And we're going to have that evidence up for everybody to see. It's going to be pretty cool.
Do you guys have a YouTube channel or?
We do. PD Region Paranormal. YouTube/PD Region Paranormal.
And you guys do lives on that, or do you just upload video?
Most of our lives right now are on Facebook, but pretty soon I'm hoping everything's going to be switched over to Paraflix.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. A good group of guys over there too.
Yeah, great group of guys.
Yeah. What do you guys have coming up as far as investigations?
We got the North Carolina battleship coming up in 2 weeks. And that will be with David Taylor of Our Haunted Lives and Christy Grissom of Our Haunted Lives.
Okay.
Josh
Yeah.
from Addict Junkie Paranormal. And, you know, a lot of people, if you need any paranormal equipment, you know, check out Addict Junkie Paranormal. Josh is a really good dude. His prices are outstanding. I mean, we've tested his equipment. He brought equipment this past week that we've never even seen, and we got to use it. And me and him both were really, really impressed with what we seen.
And I don't know if you guys know Eldon, but she says the paranormal seems to like my family. Most of us are from North and South Carolina. That's how I got into it.
Well, see, I'm kin to some Mackinvilles in Darlington, South Carolina. And one of our team members is a Mackinville. He's from Darlington, South Carolina, Andrew Mackinville. That's my cousin. So I'm related to some Mackinvilles.
Mm-hmm. Trying to read these comments. They're coming pretty fast. So I like that. Someone just talking about words. Hi, I'm fine, Eldon. Okay. Oh, snap. My roots are from Darlington.
Yeah. My aunt had married Buck Mackinville. That's how we're related to him. Doris Humphreys married Buck Mackinville.
Okay. It's funny, man, how sometimes people just know each other. I'm not saying that these people know you, but it's just funny.
Right.
People know each other, you know. I worked with a guy for like 10 years, and then come to find out, you know, I went to school with some of his family and stuff. So,
right.
You know, it's just funny.
Well, it's just like me and him when we got to hanging out. And I met his dad, and his dad's like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. I went to school with your dad. We used to stay the night together when we were kids and put model cars together." I'm like, man, small world.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to get off the subject, but you mentioned model cars. I look for those model cars. They don't make them like the kind you have to glue together, and they're all like snapped together now. To me, that's cheating.
Exactly.
They still make the glue together ones. I seen some actually at Hobby Lobby not too long ago.
About what I say Hobby Lobby, but I don't know place you're gonna find.
Yeah. Message me and to share some of my family notes. You might know these people.
Will. I'll send you a message after this is over, Mr. McAville.
Oh, she's talking to somebody. They're talking amongst themselves. Okay, good. So, what do you guys? I'm trying to read these comments and talk to you guys at the same time. Sorry about that.
Oh, we feel your pain, man.
Yeah.
See, we do. A lot of people will film their episodes or film their investigations and then go through and edit and get it just perfect like they want it, and then they upload it to their channels. We're opposite of that. We film live, so what you see is what you get. There is no editing whatsoever. We post it live as it happens. And that's just something me and him's always like to do.
That way give the people that follow us a chance to actually be a part of the investigations. They may see something that we don't see or hear something that we don't hear at the time.
Yeah, and it's happened. We've had people, you know, watching our lives to comment on there, did you just see that 3 seconds ago? And we can stop and back up and look, and 3 seconds ago, sure enough, something happens.
Do you guys have everything? Have ever had anything follow you guys home?
I haven't.
No, I haven't.
What do you think about like demonic possession? This guy's asking about that. You think that's a thing?
Yes, the thing. We actually run across one time, not knowing what we're running into.
Yeah.
Did you guys handle that yourselves, or did you call somebody else? Or
we didn't have time to call anybody, and we didn't have no idea how to handle it. We have not been trained for this.
Yeah.
The only thing that I knew to do is what we did, and that is to pray. I mean, I put my hands on that fella, and I started praying and praying and praying and praying until he came out of it. When he came out of it, he passed out, hit the ground. When he woke up, where he fell on the ground, you know, his face was bleeding, his arm was bleeding. He didn't even know who we are. He was like, "Why are y'all here? Who are y'all?" He didn't even know what was going on.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, we weren't even there for that. We were there investigating a Civil War place.
Really?
Yeah, and it just happened.
That is so strange. I know you said it just happened, but what do you think happened? I mean,
all we know is we had a group upstairs in the Civil War home, and he went in there with them. and he was in camera frame. Me and him was outside watching the monitors.
His cousin Andy was on the inside.
And Andy was on the inside with him, and we kept noticing in the monitor this guy's eyes kept changing colors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they would just, even the whites of his eyes would just look like they turned black on the DVR screen. And we called Andy on our walkie-talkie and told him, said, you know, watch out for him because something just don't look right. And then after that session was over, when he came outside, man, he just lost it.
I walked up to him and I looked at him and started laughing at me. I'm like, you know who I am? He said, I know who you are. Started laughing at me. I'm like, okay, something ain't right. So I put holy water on my finger, walked by him, just touched him in the shoulder, and about 2 minutes later, somebody's arm was on fire.
He started screaming and hollering, and I mean, I didn't know what to do for the boy. I just started talking to him, and then he started growling and all kind of saying so. I don't even know what he was saying. It was not in our language. So all I knew to do was what I was taught. When you end out, pray. So I went to praying.
Are both you guys religious? I don't know if that's the right word to say, religious, but
yes, sir.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We got strong faith and strong roots, you know.
Yeah, that's good. I wish I was a little bit more like that. I probably need to be.
Well, in this field, it helps a lot.
Yeah, me and you get carried away every once in a while, so we got pops for to reel us back in.
Yeah, we'll get carried away and we'll sidetrack, and good old pops will come in there and, okay, y'all got to quit. And he'll straighten us out and reel us back where we need to be. But, you know, we still young. We like to have fun.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm old, but I still like to have fun.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to go.
The most stuff you ever catch is when you're being yourself and just having a good time. You don't know what's going on behind you. You don't know what's going on in front of you when you're sitting there and you're having a good time. That's when we catch the most evidence.
Yeah. So I got to ask you guys, what do you guys think about Bigfoot? You've heard me talk about it a couple of times already. What do you guys think about that?
There's something out there. I haven't seen it, but you know, I've watched a lot of shows about it.
I have too,
and there's something going on out there.
You know, not far from us is the Uwharrie Mountains. They know what they're called? Uwharrie. And I mean, we've heard our whole life, they've had a Bigfoot spot. I mean, and that's been going on 42 years, I know.
Yeah.
And there's teams around here that actually get out in our area and look for him. But, you know, we've always been on the paranormal side. So I ain't going to say I don't believe in it. And I ain't going to say I do. I would say I would love to get out there and try to find evidence myself.
Right.
Who knows? You might see us in the woods.
That's right. You might see us out there looking.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like I said, if anything, at least you're out there camping. You can't beat that sitting around a campfire. So
you got that right.
Got that right.
Better than sitting around the house all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell everybody. When I can't do it. I can't sit around the house all day and
no.
You know, I go stir crazy. Do you guys do residential then? I guess.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, residential, business, outdoor, anything.
Okay.
Anybody needs our help, all they got to do is ask.
What's like a typical business you guys do, or businesses?
We've done a resort lodge. We've done that. We've done used to be an old bank, and we have a
old drugstore.
Old drugstore. Ladies building, redoing the downtown Hamlet, buying a lot of buildings, putting new stuff in. They've had activity, want us to come in and see what's going on in all these buildings for.
Oh yeah.
And there was a one time me and Rob and the team was called out to Asheboro, North Carolina. It was a group of realty ladies that wanted us to come in. They were trying to see if the house was haunted and see what they needed to get rid of the stuff out of the house. That way they could sell the home.
Right.
And they had us go in a couple of houses up there to check it out.
Yeah. So we were doing some remodeling to the hallway and to the master restroom, bathroom. And my cousins, they were doing all the work for us, and they came like on a Wednesday night, and they were going to start the next morning. But they came to kind of tell us, okay, tomorrow morning we're going to start doing this. This is the process, you know. We're like, okay, we're listening to them, and my cousin looks down at his arm, and he looks over at my other cousin, and my cousin's like, well, you know, what are you looking at me for, you know? And He starts talking again. He looks down at his arm and he looks at my cousin. He's like, "Are you grabbing me?" And he's like, "Dude, I'm standing way over here, you know." And by this time, me and my family, we're looking at each other like, okay, something's going on with Manuel. You know, something's going on.
Yeah.
And so my cousin Manuel steps off to the side, and he's actually like in the corner, and he's looking at everyone in the kitchen, you know, and he's talking again, and he looks down at his arm, and he says, "Cuz, come here." And he walks over there to me, and he grabs my arm. He like squeezes the hell out of my arm. He goes, "This is what it feels like. It feels like someone's grabbing my arm." So right at that time, we just told him, "Hey, look, this is what goes on in the house," you know.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, man." I'm like, "Yeah." So the next morning, he comes in and starts his job, and he says, "Hey, come here. I want to show you something." And he shows me on his arm. He's got 4 fingerprint bruises on his arm. And I think they didn't want him remodeling the house.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest things about paranormal stuff when it starts happening like that, the more you acknowledge it, the more you feed into it, the stronger it gets because it feeds off of your energy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if something like that happens and you just, whatever it is, walk on, go on with your business, you're not giving it any power over you. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
That's what we try to tell a lot of our clients. You know, as hard as it sounds, ignore it. It'll go away.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you know, we were really like scared. We were just so like not used to that, you know.
Right.
And but even like that one night we had all that activity, and my daughter saw that black shadow go from one corner room to the other room. You know, I mean, she went right back in her room and fell asleep. You know, she didn't let it bother her. One night I woke up and there was like, you know, some space right there between, you know, my bed and the wall,
Right.
and there was a black shadow, black figure standing right there over me, and it looked like a woman. It looked like a woman in a dress, and you know, she moved towards me, and I threw a kick at her. I was like, you know, get back, you know. But she herself wasn't trying to scare me. You know, it just startled me. I woke up, there's this person standing there, you know, and you know, when I realized what it was, and even my dog, he came into the room, and he never came into our room. He knew better than that. He wasn't allowed in our bedroom, so he had to have known that something was there. And he came around the corner. He was just looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I said, you know, go back to bed. And he left the room, and I went back to sleep. You know.
Yeah. Well, the theory is that you know, animals can see stuff we can't. So.
Yeah. He would be like sitting down or laying down. Also, he would jump up and he would like walk really fast to one room and then go to the other room, and like he was really looking for something, you know. But that was kind of weird. But you know, none of us were really scared. You know, even my son called me one day he was just graduated high school. He was getting ready to go to the Marines, and so he had a few weeks to kind of rest and sit around the house. And he called me at work, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm watching TV, and I saw something out of the corner of my eye standing next to me." And when I got home, he described it better. He said that when he looked to his right, he had his arm sitting on the armrest, and he saw this gray figure reaching out like that with his finger, and he just touched my son on the arm just so slightly, and then it disappeared. You know, and instead of getting freaked out and running out of the house, he just stayed there and watched TV. You know.
Yeah, that's the best way to do.
Yeah. It was you know, it was a fun place. You know, like I said, I enjoyed that house. You know, I think it was the previous owners. I think my dad showed up from time to time, and I think he followed me around for a couple of years. We were going through a rough time, and I think he made his presence known, and just, you know, let me know he was around.
Yeah. Last couple of years around Halloween time, we've done what they call the Richmond County Ghost Walk. It's where we got a guy in the team who does really good research, and he gets all the local history of the places up around town, around the square, and people come in. He takes them on guided tours, and you know, tells them everything about these places. So a lot of them homes is about like what you described and you were in. Little stuff like that happen. Nothing that's going to make a TV show, but enough to make the homeowners scratch their head wanting to know how, you know.
Right.
So we know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I actually kind of missed at home just based on that kind of stuff. Yeah. So what's on your bucket list? What places do you guys want to go check out?
I would like to investigate Valley Forge.
Okay.
I'm really, really wanting to go to Bobby Mackey's in
Okay.
Kentucky.
All that mean you might get in trouble at that place.
We might.
Yeah.
We've been to Madison Seminary in Ohio, awesome place. And then again, St. Albans, awesome place. I wouldn't mind doing Sweet Springs.
Yeah, that's in the book. We got to get that going too.
The Battleship's going to be a good one that we got in 2 weeks.
That was on my bucket list. It's about to get checked off.
Good, yeah.
We try to pick one place like that at least once a year to go do.
Right.
But most of the time, it's local stuff that keeps us busy.
Mm-hmm.
But we do try to take time for ourselves and let's pick one place. Everybody in the team pitch in and we'll rent the place out to ourselves and go stay the night or stay the weekend.
Yeah.
So we try to do that at least once a year.
So here in Galveston, there's a hotel called Hotel Galvez, and it's got a lot of history in it, and it's like one of the most haunted places here in Galveston. I'm in Houston, but Galveston's right down the road, 50 miles from it. So I'm in the printing business, and we print all kinds of crap, man. One of the sales guys, the Hotel Galvez just got sold and is going on a remodeling. Well, he knows the owners, right? And there's one room in particular, 501. You guys can look it up, Google it. Hotel Galvez, room 501. It's like the most haunted room in that place. And he's going to talk to the owners for me and see if I can spend a night in that room. So that's,
Make sure you take your camera.
Yeah, I think cameras and recording. I'll probably be too excited to sleep, so you won't hear too much snoring. But yeah. I mean, I would love to have, and like right now, I don't think it's even open, or at least there's lots of it that are still closed. So I would love to go do it right now. That there's nobody there. That would be probably the best thing to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let see you.
We're gonna try to knock the Battleship out, and then we got a lot of videos that we're doing now called Haunted. What is it? Haunted Hometown.
What's that?
The stuff we're doing in Hamlet. What did you name it?
Hometown
Haunts.
Hometown Haunts. Yep.
So we're trying to get all the video footage together for that, where we can get it produced and put out there. And you know better than anybody when you get to producing a lot of footage like that and trying to edit and get it ready for TV and cut out the bad stuff and the cuss words, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to get the cuss words in.
Well, it depends on where we air.
Yeah,
a lot of platforms is changing right now.
Yeah.
Hey, we can go live and get what they get.
Yeah, when we go live now, there ain't nothing we can do about it.
There you go.
They'd have to just send us a warning or ban us for 3 days.
Somebody sign me beeping every time I talk.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Because, in the heat of the moment and something like that happens, you don't know what's going to come out your mouth.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, at any minute. So, yeah.
You sound like him.
I got to tell you guys, I'm pretty much a clown, man. I'm always doing something. I'm always doing something silly.
Yeah, that's us. We love to have fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
My truck is broke down. It's got some overheating issues, and a friend of mine told me today at work. He goes, "Hey, if you want to use my truck to go to lunch, use it." I said, "Okay, cool." So I come back and I park, and I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put on the Spanish station, crank it up as loud as it'll go. I moved his seat all the way up. I put his wipers on. I turned the heater on all the way up. Then I shut everything off, and I saw him when he went to his car, and he texted me. He goes, "Wow, really Mexican music?" Yeah. I'm always doing something crazy, man. I like messing with people.
That's like some shit we do.
It's about like whenever we were at St. Albans Sanatorium, he don't like DAWs at all. And when you go up the set of stairs, it kind of made a turn.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you make a turn, there was a porcelain DAW sitting in a high chair, just sitting there staring at you.
Oh yeah,
He like to had a fit when he seen that doll.
yeah.
It's pitch black. I would expect him to see that at the top of the stairs.
And then Christy from Our Haunted Live, she got David really good over there. They had this room to the side, and they had a big black curtain over it. Nobody knew what was in it because they had it roped off. Well, Christy kind of peeked in there and seen, and there was a zombie standing there from the Halloween haunted tour they had.
Yeah.
And the zombie was just reaching for you, fixing to grab you. And she didn't say nothing to nobody. And she said, David, I keep hearing something in there. And when David pulled that curtain back and that zombie standing there, man, he had a fit.
Oh man, I'd love that. I love that. That'd be great. I need to get me a zombie now.
Yeah. I mean, we do little stuff like that, especially when nothing's going on and everybody's kind of getting tired. You got to do something to liven everybody back up.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's no fun if everyone's serious anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, and, there's a time for it, but if you got to do it, the whole time you're there, then it's no fun.
Yeah.
We try to sit around and cut up with a ghost, get them to cut up with us sometimes.
Yeah, and it works. It's worked sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's just like we were doing the EVP recording. We didn't have nothing but a digital recorder, and we had it rolling. And he come walking in there, and he said, "If there's anybody in here with me, can I get a oh yeah?" And about 3 seconds later, we cut it off, and we got to listening to it, reviewing it. And at the end, when he said, "Can I get a oh yeah?" back in the distance, all you heard was oh yeah.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. I like that. Yeah, when they're cutting up with you, that's pretty good. What are some of the creepiest EVPs you guys have gotten?
That one we called a Hitler. That was weird.
Yeah, we got one at the Hamlet Train Depot here in Hamlet, North Carolina, and we kept getting some spirit coming through the box, and it was talking in a language we did not understand. And we got to noticing on the windows in the front of the place, they were made in Germany, some of them was made in Russia, and they were telling us that them windows came from back in the day when Hitler was around. And Brian got to asking questions about Hitler, and we didn't hear it with our ears, but after we got to reviewing the evidence, there's a voice in there when Brian said something about Hitler, and it said Zika.
What does that mean?
That's what Hitler used to say every speech. I have no clue what it means, but if you go back and watch footage of Hitler, about every time he was talking, he would say that.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's almost like a scream, Zika.
Before that, you hear some woman talking to my, come on, get the body bags now. Then you hear him scream that out.
Yeah, it was crazy. Then we got the same place. We got a recording of a little girl running around singing, and we asked her what her name was, and she said Amy. And then we got upstairs, and we heard the same little voice. We got to communicating with her more, and she said that she was in the bathroom.
So everything about the Hamlet is paranormal. Take it from me. My dad was born in Hamlet, and he was paranormal too.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard disembodied voices?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Matter of fact, we got one Wednesday night when we were in there. We didn't have anything running.
We're all sitting around the table, just messing around, and we heard a child laughing right behind us. And we're like, did you hear that? The child, and 2 minutes later, heard it again.
The good thing about that one, though, we did have a recorder rolling. So not only did we hear it, but we actually recorded it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And when was it Madison? Me and Andy were on the second floor. We walked in a room, all of a sudden just hear this woman screaming bloody murder loud as crap. It made her echo at the windows. I'm like, did you just hear that? And that was crazy. I've heard my name called before out loud. I'm on the one in the room. I was like, okay. That's weird.
Well, we've had some crazy experiences. I ain't gonna lie.
I can see things and it don't bother me as much, but you hear disembodied voices like, oh crap. I was like, it just got real.
Especially if it catches you off guard and you're alone. That's what gets you the most. when you're doing a solo and you're down there by yourself and you see a shadow figure run across the end of the wall and you know you're by yourself, it'll put you on pins and needles. You know, I'm not going to say it'll scare you, but it's going to put you on high alert to where you're looking for every little thing that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time we were kind of freaking out in the woods a little bit. You know, we hearing movement and stuff, and it turned out to be a damn bobcat. You know.
Yeah. That's about like me and you when we were at Colonel Cobb too.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
It sounded like a baby crying. I ain't gonna lie.
Huh.
First thing we thought bobcat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we took off running. We got back to the truck and we could hear it going through the woods, but it never showed itself. I don't know what it was.
I think disembodied growl is worse than disembodied voice.
Oh, you've heard of disembodied growl, huh?
Oh yeah, several times at St. Albans.
Okay. The worst growl I ever heard was we were doing our Bigfoot thing, and someone had told me to take a dog whistle out there, and I took the dog whistle and I blew it like 4 or 5 times, and man, we got this growl back, and it was like the deepest demonic growl I ever heard, and it hit you right in the chest.
You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so I said, I'm not doing this shit no more. And I tell everybody, man, don't take that dog whistle out there. They don't like it. They don't like it.
I'm the opposite side. I'll be like, let's blow it again.
Blow it again, huh? Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give people who might want to get into this field?
I tell them, do what they want to do, have fun with it, but be very careful when you do it. Ask people how they do things and learn from people how to use different types of equipment, and basically be careful and never do it by yourself.
And don't get discouraged, because you're going to have a lot of these groups out there, and I'm not talking about any one particular group, but you got groups out there that's been doing this for a long time, and they got the high dollar equipment and they got the high dollar production cameras, and don't let it get to you. You know, we started from a cell phone and a flashlight, and it's took 25 years to get to where we're at. Don't think you got to have the best of everything, because you don't.
You don't. And you see some people cracking on these equipment by using phones and stuff. You know, some people talk about what they use and stuff, trying to they call it paralarping, like doing what they see on TV. Like I say, don't knock somebody for trying to do something they love doing. No matter what they use, as long as they're having fun doing it and get evidence, don't judge it for what they use.
And pretty much the biggest piece of advice I can give them is to stay grounded. Protect yourself in some way. You know what I mean? And you'll be fine.
If you ever have any questions about investigating or want to go with us, just hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up. You can go with us. If you need advice, we're here. If you need questions about equipment, we'll be glad to help you. We'll send you to the links where you can buy it. Whatever you want to do, anything we can do to help.
And where can people find you at?
Pee Dee Region Paranormal.com, Facebook, Pee Dee Region Paranormal. YouTube at YouTube/Pee Dee Region Paranormal, or if you go to our website, my cell phone and his cell phone is on the website.
We'll have TikTok.
Yeah, give us a call, send us a text, email Pee Dee Region Paranormal at gmail.com. I mean, we have a lot of ways for you to get in touch with us.
And there's a question here: Have y'all all looked into the possibility of investigating the motor speedway in Concord? Concord, I don't know.
Yeah, Concord.
May get some activity from Dale Earnhardt. Who knows?
I don't know. We ain't really thought about that. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, we got the Rockingham Motor Speedway right here in the town we live in, but it's been shut down for many years. But now they're bringing it back, and they're starting to do more things with it. But we've never thought to go out there.
Well, cool. You guys have any words of wisdom to impart with the people before we call it a night?
Well, biggest thing is do what you love. If you love chasing paranormal, chase it. If you love looking for Bigfoot, do it. If you love looking for UFOs, do it. Don't let nobody discourage you from doing what you like, man. Get out there and do it.
Just do what you love.
And try to record it where you can share it with us.
There you go, man. Yeah. Those are good words, man. Yeah, do what you love, man. Don't worry about anybody else,
We look at it just like in the paranormal field. We started what we call para-unity.
Right.
Before it was this team doing its own thing, this team doing its own thing. now we look at it like a family. Everybody in the paranormal field is a family. If you need us, call us. If you need help with anything, if you need manpower, equipment, whatever, call us. We can do more together than we can all do apart.
Good words, man. I like that. Yeah, and you're right about that. Everyone needs to stick together, and that's what it's all about. We should all be working towards the same goals, and
that's right.
Not trying to get so much division between us. There's enough of that in this world. We don't need it in the paranormal field.
This field here has big division in it too.
It does.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too. That's unfortunate.
These people here, oh, we caught this and we caught that. Good for you. I'm glad you did, but we all have the same goal, and that is to get concrete evidence of the paranormal. And if we can help you in any way do that, we would be more than glad to.
Well, good words, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on, man, and you guys are great guests. We have to do this again sometime, and if you guys ever need anything from me, you're more than welcome to share your stuff on my page. Tag me in it. I'll share it for you guys too.
All right, we appreciate that.
We appreciate the opportunity to be on here with you. So
we're gonna start sharing yours too, and I'll probably even put you a link on our website where people can just click and go straight to your page.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that very much, man. And everybody in the chat room, I appreciate all the activity, man. You guys are doing great as always. So thanks a lot for joining and watching the show. And with that, I guess I'm ready for the weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for it.
We are.
I'm gonna go see John Pardee tomorrow. I don't know if you guys know John Pardee. He's a country singer. I went to see Keith Urban Wednesday night, so that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. So I might have a.
Yeah, that's too slow for me.
I might have me a few adult beverages.
I hear you. Well, tomorrow I'm planning on doing one of the biggest low country bowls I've ever did.
Oh yeah. Well, what are you making?
Low cut seafood bowl.
Okay. It is crawfish season. I love crawfish, man.
Yep, I got plenty to go in it too, buddy.
Well, shit, I might have to take a drive up there, man. Well, all right, fellas, man. Y'all have a good night and have a great weekend, man. Thanks so much again.
Right, man.
Appreciate it.
We thank you for having us, man.
All right, guys. You have a good night. Good weekend.
Later.